Hey, what's up, everybody? How you doing? Hopefully, you guys are doing well and getting on this week. Well, hold on, let me mute myself. I'm hearing myself in the background here. There we go. Let's see. Make sure everything's working properly. Okay, there we go. Looks good to me. And welcome to this live chat. We're just going to take some time and chat about the Quest 3 and answer some of your questions. Let me pull up the chat here. Hopefully you all are doing good and you had fun watching some of the coverage from Connect last week. Back in the office now, and I'm getting down and dirty when it comes to Quest 3 content. Hi from the UK. Hi, Gabriel. Hey, everyone. Toasty VR, Robin VR. Let's see, Brody, what's up? How you doing? Hi, everyone. I don't do a lot of live streams, but I wanted to jump in and can kind of hang out and talk about the Quest 3 and to see what kind of questions you guys have. So let's get some questions in the chat, and I also got a few things to show you too. Let me see. I saw a couple of the questions come up. Are the number one, Comrade Chuck, are the controllers charging? Are the controllers chargeable? 2, is the controllers tracking better? Okay, so the controller tracking is good for what I've seen in everything that I've done for experimenting when I went to both New York and at Connect. They're not as good as the Quest Pro, but they're, in my experience, as good as the Quest 2. Now, that remains to be seen how good they last, when you get into a really heavy game. You're reaching behind your back all the time. But from my testing, it actually works surprisingly well. Let me just go back here. What was your other question? Are they rechargeable? Okay, so they're AA batteries. But if you buy the dock, the charging dock, it comes with rechargeable batteries that actually charge conductively through the base of the actual charging dock. So you'll put the Quest 3 on the dock and the controllers in their spots, and everything charges, which is awesome. All right, we get in a lot of questions here. Let's see if we can go back through. Welcome. If I didn't say that already, thanks for joining in. What's the FOV? It's 110 degrees is the FOV. It's got a slightly better FOV than the Quest Pro, and it's about 15% better, I think, than the Quest 2. So it does have both a wider field of view and a taller field of view. And to me, it's noticeable. It's not as massive as like the Valve Index, but it's still noticeable, which is awesome. Hey, Bluebell, never saw me do it live before. It's very rare, but thank you for stopping by. Let me see. Let me make sure I'm not missing any questions. Does it have the same UI as before? The UI is the same, but it is getting updates from what I've heard and seen. So both Quest 2 and 3 should benefit from that. The difference is that the UI is particularly snappy on the Quest 3. There's no lag when you click on something, and the direct touch works really, really well. And it just feels much, much better. So if you've got questions, throw them in the chat. I'm going to keep going answering questions, and I want to show you something in a minute that you may have seen or you may not have seen. It's some comparisons for Quest 2 and Quest 3 from a visual standpoint. So let me see what else we got here. Will there still be Bluetooth latency? Okay, so I actually saw that question pop up from someone. Excuse me. I don't know anything about Bluetooth chips, but I know that the Bluetooth chip in the Quest 2 was a Bluetooth 5.0. The chip in this one is the Bluetooth 5.2 BLE. So if you know what that means, then that's great. If that means no less latency, then that's awesome. I don't know if that's what that means, to be honest. But if it's a good thing, then it's an update. So that's good. Had you had any experience? Hold on, let me just. Lots of comments rolling in. Oh, Chris, thank you for the donation. That is amazing. Thank you so much. Let me go back and try to find some more of these questions. Have you had the chance to try Beat Saber and Expert Plus to see the tracking on that? If I had, I probably would have failed miserably very quickly because I'm terrible at Beat Saber Expert Plus. But no, they did not have Beat Saber as a demo to play, unfortunately. Controller tracking heard to be an issue, Brody said. I have not had any issues with that. I actually tried behind my back, and it actually worked really well. It was better than I expected it to be, which is awesome. Let's see, first impressions compared to Quest 2. Okay, so when you put it on, immediate difference in compared to Quest 2. Like, I was shocked. I wanted it to be good, and it was better than I expected it to be when I first put it on my head. Plus the fact that when you first put the headset on, it actually loads you into your real world instead of going into a virtual world. Now, you can switch to the virtual world, but it actually puts you into your real world environment when you first put it on. And it actually looks really good. The pass-through cameras are noticeably better, and it definitely feels better. Way lighter it feels, even though it's not. It feels so much better on your head. Let's see here. guessing it's true. 2-strap won't work on that. Yes, there's adapters that look like they're going to come out, but the Quest 2 straps will not work on the Quest 3 unless you get an adapter of some kind or you 3D print one, which I've seen some people trying to do already. How noticeable is the increased FOV and does it compare to the Index? Yeah, so it doesn't compare to the Index, but it is, to me, noticeable. May not be as noticeable, but those pancake lenses make it way better anyways. Like, the pancake lenses on this thing are an upgraded version of the ones on the Quest Pro, and they look even better than the Quest Pro looks. If you've used the Quest Pro and you are hoping for as good, then you'll expect better, because it's just really, really good. Is the headset more comfortable than the Quest 2? Yes, it is more comfortable than the Quest 2. Surprisingly more comfortable. Even with the standard strap, I'll still get an Elite strap or something to replace it, just because I think in long gameplay sessions it could get weighty still. But in all honesty, I was surprised at actually how much better that standard strap was with the new design. Meta Quest 3 social facial silicone facial interface, worth it for $40 for working out activities, or hold off for third-party options. I'd hold off to see what VR cover comes out with, just because I think it's expensive. I liked the silicone face interface. I know a couple of people that didn't really care for it, and it felt like it slipped around if you wore it for too long. But yeah, I personally actually kind of liked it. The default strap is better. Trying to look through some of these comments. I apologize if I'm missing anything. Let's just go jump down here. Hold on a second. Side loading possible. I don't see why that wouldn't be possible. What is the screen recording like? Right now, the screen recording is the same as it was before. Trying to see all these questions. I apologize if I'm taking too long. Lots of questions, which is awesome. You guys got a lot of questions. Do you think they'll eventually change to the one from the 128 to the 256? I don't know. I don't think so. And if they did, it'll be down the line a ways. I did see that the upper body tracking feature announcement. I can't wait to see how that functions. It'll be really good for games where you need to have like a belt, where you have stuff on your belt. It should help a lot with that. Let's see. Do I see the head strap being a necessary upgrade? Not as much as with Quest 2, but yes, I think for long gameplay sessions, people are probably going to want a better head strap. Is the pass-through actually as good as it's hyped to be? It is, I think. It's different. It uses the depth sensor and creates kind of a 3D overlay almost of the actual world. It does get a little wonky when you get your hands up close to your face, but that's to be expected. When we actually spoke with Boz when we were at Connect, and he was explaining why that happens. It's because the depth sensor is not directly where your eyes are. So there's space between your eyes and the depth sensor. So that means that it cannot actually create depth. There's a space where there is no image, essentially. So when your hand gets up closer, it struggles with getting exactly, like if you have your hand here, it gets a little wobbly. But it looks good when it's out, in a normal place. But I actually do like the pass through. Prefer the Quest 3 controllers or the Quest Pro controllers? The Quest 3 feel really good and they're light. I like the tracking on the Quest 3 Pro controllers, but I like the weight and the feel of the Quest 3 controllers. What color would I go for? I like the blue, although the purple is really good, or the orange is really good, but I really like the blue. Are you more hyped for Asgard's Wrath or Assassin's Creed? And you love the videos. Thanks, Clasher. I haven't played Asgard's Wrath. It looks fantastic. I haven't played Assassin's Creed. I am so excited to play that. I played it both at New York, and I played it a lot at Connect, and it just gets better every time I play it. I don't know. It's fantastic. I think you're going to really like it. A lot of people are going to really enjoy it, I think. Down to the fact that it even feels like, an Assassin's Creed game in the combat and in the free running. They did a good job transitioning it, making it easy enough to feel good. I'm going to go down to some of these newer questions just because if you have a question, I haven't answered it, please pop it back in the chat. Oh, thank you so much for the donation. Pixogen Pixels, very much appreciated. Thank you so much for that. If you have questions I haven't answered them, please try to put them again, because there's a lot of questions and try to keep up with them. Thank you so much for joining. This is a lot of fun. And I want to get to all your questions as fast as I can, or as much as I can. But yeah, there's a lot of them. So let's see. Do you see the new upper body tracking? I saw that already. Do I have my review unit yet? I can confirm that I do not have a review unit yet. I hope to have one before launch, but you know what? Who knows? It's hard to say. Is there ghosting or chromatic aberration on the screen? I didn't see any. Of course, some people are more susceptible to it. I don't tend to be susceptible to it. I didn't really see any. Speaking about the LCD screens, there's two LCD screens. They look better than the Quest 2. They look better. My headphones are doing something weird. The visuals look better way better than the Quest 2, obviously, but the blacks actually look better. They're not like pro with local dimming better, but they're still better quality LCD screens. Let's see. try to get some more of these questions in. Pre-order from I pre-ordered from Japan since here in Brazil doesn't sell officially, and from EU, the estimated delivery date was the 20th of October. Yeah, with importing, that's probably pretty accurate, but that's really not that bad considering it's shipping and importing. Will the charging dock charge the Elite battery strap when plugged in? It should. I don't know that for sure, but because it's using conductive, like the conductive points on the bottom and charging the headset, just like if you were charging the headset, it should charge the battery, or the charge of the battery strap, it should charge the headset. I'm hoping that it charges both. If it doesn't, then we've got a problem. But they've thought of a lot of things. Let me illustrate that with this. Okay, so the charging dock, I was worried about that because you have the replacement hand straps that you can get now. And Mike from Virtual Reality Oasis and I were talking, and we actually took a look and made sure that it actually worked, because the base, we weren't sure how it charged. It almost looked like the batteries were a replacement battery cover. And then we weren't sure if the knuckle straps would actually fit on the actual charging base. And what they've done is actually really good. They've made it so you can charge with the replacement wrist hand straps, and it's a replacement battery. It's actually really cool. They've thought of a lot of really good things for this. I was surprised. Boz actually said, one of the things he said was the third iteration of a technology tends to be the best iteration so far, more so than the first and the second. And I would have to agree. There's a lot of things about this that just make sense, including the eye, like the glasses inserts that they have that are made direct from Meta. They fit in beautifully. They're so easy to put in, and they're wonderful. Mike got some, and yeah, I don't need them, but they're fantastic. Thank you, GT. As a moderator, I demand you all hit the like button on the way in. Thank you, GT. Great to see you here. Yeah, keep throwing the questions in there. I'm going to keep trying to find all the questions I can. Hey, GT, I see you say bro up there. Sorry, I missed that. I'm trying to throw all these questions in here. I should have turned slow chat on a little bit higher. There's a lot more people here than I expected to stop by, but thank you. Let's see. Killer 8 Snake says, can the MR make the pass-through dimmer? Like, yes, yeah. It can put an overlay over the pass-through, and it changes the way it looks. Quest 2 actually and Quest Pro can do that too, like create a darker environment so you can have a flashlight. So yeah, for horror, that'll be really, really cool. Wolfro, thank you so much for the donation. Default facial interface opinions. Is it hygienic? It's more like it's not as bad as the old one. So like it feels better, but yeah, I would get a silicone if you're going to do something like be passing it around and you want it to be hygienic, because it is more of a fabric-y type of feel. Let me see what we got here. Christian says, can you read small text? How will it be for productivity? Okay, so yes, that's something I want to experiment more with, but with the productivity aspect of it, I actually think it actually does work really well. And you can see text really well. I didn't get the chance to experiment as much as I would have liked to, but it does work really well for text. And you can definitely see things way better. Like I could look down and read text on placards and all that stuff. It works. I think for productivity, it'll actually be really good. It might not be like, it's not going to be like Apple Vision Pro good, but I think it will be really, really good. I'm getting my Quest Pro on the 10th. I can't wait. I can't wait for you to get it either, because I think you're going to be excited. Highlight them one by one. You're doing great. Thank you, GT. I'm trying to go through and kind of grab all of them. And like I said, if you have a question and I haven't answered it, please pop it back in the chat. Just don't overdo it, because like keep posting over and over and over again in a row, just because it might think you're spam and you might get blocked or whatever. So hello from Norway. Hey, how you doing? 128 or 512. Okay, so Aspyr 2, for instance, just released today that their game is doubling in size approximately for Quest 2 and for Quest 3 because of the updates for Quest 3. It's going from like 4 gigs to almost 10. So I personally, if you can swing it, would get to 512 if you're planning on getting a lot of Quest 3 games and want them installed. 128 will still be adequate for a while if you're not planning on having a whole bunch of games installed. Lee, thank you so much for the donation. Hi, I bought the Fit Pack for Quest 2 because my head is a bit bigger. What are you doing? What are they doing for the solution for this? They've got some accessories coming out. I'm not 100% sure what they have for like a Fit Pack. They haven't really announced that specifically yet. So hopefully they'll have something coming out, but it is designed for different head shapes and sizes. A little bit better this time, I've heard from people that have tried it that do have like a different kind of larger shaped head. Ryan B, how is the light leak with the colored face gaskets? I didn't have any problems with it. I tested the blue one, I think, and it wasn't for only for just a little bit of time. I didn't have any problems with the light leak. Actually, come to think of it, the light leak's better in the Quest 3 than it was in the Quest 2 standard stuff. It actually works really good. Personally think that it actually has way less light, which is good in some ways, but bad if you want to look at your phone, which I do all the time. Would you say it feels better than lighter than the Quest 2? I do. It does feel lighter, even though it's not. Will 77 millimeter IPD be okay? I actually have the specs right here for what they say. Specifically, it'll work at 77. The IPD recommended range, or the accommodated range, says it's up to 75. Now, there's a decent amount of adjustments. There's a mechanical lens spacing that you can distance in your headset up to 70, but then because of the pancake lenses, it says it goes up to 75. You might be able to get away with 72, but you're going to see the edges, I would guess. But that's something you might have to go to a testing place and experiment with just to see before you grab it. Let's see. Is overcharging or undercharging bad for Quest 2? I never really paid attention to it, to be honest with you. It's probably best to charge like 80% or 90% like they say to do and unplug it. But, that's just, I never take the time to do that. Above head tracking, aiming in VR FPS, you hold the controllers close to the headset. The aiming when you hold close to the headset, I don't see being an issue. Above the head tracking, I did some experimentation with it and I didn't see any issues. So I wouldn't be too worried about that part. But again, lots of experimentation coming up. It was all controlled environments, and I had only so many demos. I did play it for a lot, but it is controlled. So it's just lots of things that you have to experiment with, or I'm gonna have to experiment with for sure. Let me see. Fogging, ventilation. Did you feel hot? Did it feel hot? It didn't feel hot in my face, and I didn't have any issues with fogging or ventilation. Of course, it was a very cool area where I played it. They had a lot of air conditioning on, so I didn't have a lot of issues with actual the heat on the outside. Another thing to experiment with, but the ventilation seems good. It has ventilation similar to what the Quest Pro has, so it has an actual vent around the outside of a fan around the outside of the actual Quest 3, so that should help a lot. Lovely says, pre-ordered, I'm coming from the CV1. I'm most excited about having pass-through. This was the only frustrating thing with CV1 for me. It was great. Okay, so yeah, I think you're going to really like it. The pass-through is fantastic. I've mentioned it a little bit before, but I really enjoy the pass-through. I think mixed reality has a ways to go to really catch up to what the potential is, and I don't think it's going to be like a system seller, if you will. But it's fun, and I think the pass-through is going to be really useful for a lot of things. Especially love the transition between the real world and the pass-through. It's like a smooth transition now instead of like a bump. It's fantastic. It feels like you're transitioning instead of just clicking a button. Realtek says, I honestly thought Quest 3 was an easy choice, but then Virtual Desktop got face tracking support. I actually did not see that they got face tracking support. That's pretty awesome, actually. What else have we got here? Oops. Let's go up a little bit. Should I buy the hand straps? I would wait to see what they have for third-party options, just because I think they're cool, but they seem expensive for what they are. So if you got third-party options, I would just wait and see how that goes. That's my opinion on that. Eddie, thank you so much for the donation, and Lovely as well. Thank you. If I didn't say that, I apologize. Would you be able to use it in a moving vehicle? I'd have to test it. I don't know if there was like a 3 DOF mode you might be able to. It's something you'd have to test, or somebody would have to test, and I haven't had the chance to do that. It does have I don't know. I'm guessing no. I would guess no, but it's hard to say. How real looking is the pass-through really? I find it hard to believe that none of the earlier reviewers has had much issue with it. It was great. I mean, it doesn't look like I'm looking straight through my own eyes. Obviously, it looks like I'm seeing a video of what the pass-through itself, but it does look really good. Way better than the Quest 2, and definitely better than the Quest Pro as well, because the colors aren't all wonky and it actually has a depth sensor, which is great. Let me see. Will Asgard's Wrath be available on every Quest 3? Like for those that buy them, I think through the end of the year, if you buy the Quest 3, you get Asgard's Wrath. I think it's through the holiday season or the end of the year, then you get it for free, but it will be available to buy for all Quest 3 headsets. How much would watching movies be on the Quest 3? How much better would it be? Rose says, I'm excited to try that because the videos that I saw in the Quest 3 were fantastic. I was messing around. They had this demo where it showed videos and it looked fantastic. Like I can't wait to actually sit down and watch a movie on it. It's way more comfortable. Let's see. Interested to see how Contractors looks on Quest 3. Yeah, it'll be great to see if they do an update for it. I think it'll be awesome. Would you recommend waiting for Pico 5 Pro for eye tracking? It depends on if you really need eye tracking. I don't know. It comes down to personal preference. I personally think that the library for Quest 3 and some of the things that I've used for Quest 3 in comparison to what I've used for Quest 2 or for Pico 4, I don't know. I think that Quest 3 is going to be awesome. But if you like the Pico ecosystem and you can get into it, then I think that you could. I don't know. I'm not experienced with Pico. Let me just put it that way. Addressing the elephant in the room, pure PCVR use. Do you think Quest 3 has it over Pico 4? I have only used Pico 4 very limitedly, but from what I've seen, the Quest 3 has an edge in clarity, and I think it looks better personally. But again, like I said, I don't have enough experience with the Pico to really say one way or the other. Let me see what else we got. Do you think Quest 3 will be worth upgrading for PCVR? I do. I think more even, it looks like the screens and the lenses are so much better just alone with the resolution bump and the new lenses than the Quest Pro. I would actually upgrade to it for even over Quest Pro. Do you think that all or most of the games for Quest 2 on the Quest 3 from Quest 2 to the Quest 3, or will they have to release new games? Okay, so the entire Quest 2 library will be on the Quest 3. It won't all get automatic updates. You'll get better resolution because the screens are better, and it'll look better because of the pancake lenses. But there are at least 50 plus games getting updates for the Quest 3 before the end of the year. So you're going to see a lot of stuff. I've seen some amazing looking stuff coming. In fact, let's jump over really quickly. Hold your questions just a second. I'll get back to the questions just a second. I just want to show you something really quick. Let me pull this up. This is Golf Plus. I saw this earlier today or last night. I just want to show you. The quality's not going to be great because it's on Twitter, but let's just jump over to this really quick. We're going to do browser. Test. Sorry about that. Let me just turn this back on. There we go. Sorry about that. I forgot to turn my mic back on for when I was in the browser mode. Okay, so right away you can actually see the difference. Now that we're back to this, let me know if you can hear the audio now. You can see the difference in quality between the Quest 2 and the Quest 3. The colors alone are insane, and the lighting is incredible. You can see, I don't know, it speaks for itself. I don't really have to say much. Because it looks fantastic. And this is just one of the examples. Let me just go back to this really quick. Pop this in really quick, and then I'm going to switch this over to another video that I have. This is Red Matter. If you watched anything to do with I see that they said it looks like a stylistic difference. It is a stylistic difference, but it's something that wasn't possible on the Quest 2, that style for what they wanted to accomplish. This is a lot more impressive. Let me switch over to this really quick. Let's do browser, and you're going to see a lot of this. Let me just skip ahead a little bit. You'll see the difference in this. There's a massive render increase. Yes, the Saints and Sinners is great too. Red Matter 2 looks fantastic. There's some other stuff here. Give it just a second. I have to agree with BMFR games in the Quest 3 no longer look flat with textures. It feels more like a PC. Yes. Okay. That's the thing is you're going to see right here. Watch this 4K textures. Watch this switch over. See, that's the difference. The biggest difference is the textures and the 4K, textures and increase in pixel count. Let's just bounce back just a little bit. See the difference. Watch this. Watch how flat that looks. And you don't realize it looks that flat in the headset until you actually compare them. I played a build of the game where you could switch back and forth between the two, Quest 2 and Quest 3, and it actually honestly looks like that. Like, it's unbelievable how much difference it looks. I'm going to get back to the questions in just a second. I just wanted to show you this. The shadows is one of the most impressive things. If you see the shadows Watch this pop in the dynamic shadows. You see that? It takes and the lighting. Look at this. It takes the experience and it makes it so much more realistic and better when you have shadows and lighting. Let me just pop over here so we can answer some more questions. So that is what it looks like on Quest 3 and Quest 2. It looks fantastic. It looks so much better. Let me get back to some questions really quick. Let's see. Let me just there we go. Just doing some moderation here. Okay. Is the FOV increase noticeable? Love the vids. Thanks so much, Six. I think it's noticeable. It's not like a massive difference, but it does allow you to, it does look better. I think it personally looks a little bit wider, taller more, but the wider is a little bit better too. The pancake lenses really just are huge and upgrade anyways, and they make the FOV look better as it is. And your eyes can be closer to the screens because of the pancake lenses. I would like to know if the link cable I use for MetaQuest 2 will work with the Quest 3. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't. They didn't announce any new accessories, and it does specifically link and AirLink will work. So I'm guessing that it will definitely work. Shouldn't be any issue. Will I do a giveaway? I thought about doing a giveaway. We'll see how things go over the next couple of months. I'd like to do a holiday giveaway if I can. Let's see. Let's make sure I didn't miss any donations. Just I hate when I do that. Okay, there we go. So I might go back. I got another couple of examples. I might go back in a minute, but I wanted to answer some more questions really quick. Could you replace the 128 gigabyte if it... Hold on, where did it go? I don't know where that went. What are the black levels like compared to Quest 2? Better than Quest 2, not as good as Quest Pro. Do you think Quest 3 will be worth upgrading for PC VR? I do, because the resolution bump in the displays and the form factor of the headset, add that to the pancake lenses, the better upgraded version, essentially. It's the newer version of the Quest Pro lenses. I think it's better. What's best, PSVR 2 or Quest 3? Not really a fair comparison. Quest 3 is standalone, no wires, and it has to do everything in headset. PSVR 2 obviously has the system to do everything. I personally like the form factor and the feeling of the Quest 3 better. Not just because of a Quest 3 channel. I've been playing the crap out of PSVR 2 when it comes to like No Man's Sky, and I love that. But I like the Quest 3's ease of use and form factor better. And I saw a question I can't see. I don't know where it went. That asked if they can. Hold on a second. I can just find it so I know what they're talking about. Where is it? Yeah, let's do some more moderation really quick. All right, there we go. There we go. Do you think the public is... Where is it? Worth upgrading from the Index? I don't have an Index, but I know that the screens are a big upgrade. And I mean, the lenses are an upgrade. The size is an upgrade. It's going to depend on how big of a stickler you are, because the Index obviously is a very different beast than the Quest. This uses inside-out tracking, and it uses doesn't have a display port. It's just USB-C, so it's going to probably get artifacting in comparison to something like the Index. It'll be up to you. I that would be better suited to someone like Virtual Reality Oasis or maybe Thrill or something that can answer that better, that spend a lot of time in the Index. Can the game devs publish a separate Quest 3 version of the game and apps? Or else, how do the Quest 3 upgrade games work? So the way that works is that they actually have to upgrade both versions. They're not able to do two separate APKs. They're the same. They both coexist. The Quest 3 version exists in the Quest 2 version. It just doesn't get activated unless you have a Quest 3 and you're running it with the Quest 3. So that's going to increase the size of all games for both headsets. Just a question: how do you get your Oculus apps to stream without buying the games again? To Steam. Okay, so there's no way to do that, unfortunately. Unfortunately, if you buy it on Oculus or Quest, you have to buy them on Steam again if you do not have. You know what I mean. Can you answer my super chat? Lee, I don't see a super chat. Where is it? Let me go up and find it. Oh, there it goes. Can you watch Hulu on your tablet while cooking with the headset on? I'm going to try something like that. I think so. There's going to make it so you can have a massive screen pinned essentially, a ways away from you. And the pass-through's good enough. And thank you for the super chat, Lee. The pass-through's good enough that I think that you'll be able to do that. I saw another donation. Make sure I don't miss it. The Only Ace, thank you so much. Will we see black bars at the sides at any IPD like Quest 2? You'll be much less likely to see the black bars on the sides because of the pancake lenses and the wide and the fact that you can actually have it has a wider FOV. Some people will still see it, but you'll be less likely to than with the Quest 2. Let's go back here. I see some people here. I see PD, by the way. It's nice to see you in here. Thank you so much for stopping by. I saw you a little bit ago. Sorry, just didn't call you out. If they're integrating native chat for YouTube live stream, I hope they do the same for Twitch chat. Huge issue for a long time. Yeah, I think that's something they're working on, actually. No indication as to when, but I think they are working on it. I'm trying to get through all these questions, so just keep popping them in. I'll keep trying to read through them. We'll go for a little bit longer here. My goal is to do an hour stream, so we got about a half hour left. Plenty of time for more questions. Do you see games getting big enough to justify the 512 over the 128? I think so, personally. That's mostly because, though, games are already going to be started at release are going to be 25 to 30 gigs for Asgard's Wrath. That's a big game. You can only have a few of those games on a 128. Now, if you don't mind uninstalling or reinstalling and only having a few on there at a time, then that's fine. But I personally am going to be buying a bigger version. Because if I do get a review unit, it'll more than likely will be the smaller version. Would it be better to keep Touch Pro controllers or upgrade to the Quest Pro controllers for Quest 3? I think the Quest 2 controllers are really good. I would experiment them before you buy the Quest Pro controllers, because they're essentially the same feeling and size. The Quest 3 controllers are lighter. So yeah, I think that you'll like that part of it. I personally do. It's still ringless. It's hard to say which one would be better. Obviously, Quest Pro is better if you're going to do a lot of competitive stuff, and maybe for the Beast Saber. But it remains to be seen how much better their AI, their hand tracking models and AI are going to work. Hebron, I have the Quest Pro. I'm thinking to buy the Quest 3 for exclusive games that need the power of the new chip, and use the Quest Pro for old games on PC, and use the Quest Pro controllers on Quest 3. See, if you have the Quest Pro and you upgrade to the Quest 3, yes, you can definitely use the Quest Pro controllers. That would definitely be a good upgrade if you already got it. As of right now, we don't know of any exclusive games on Quest 3, so it probably won't happen immediately, maybe next year. So we'll have to wait and see when that happens. I don't know. It might be a year. It could be 2. I doubt it'll be that long. I would say by the end of next year, we'll probably see some stuff that's coming exclusive to Quest 3. Plus, in all honesty, the Quest 3 is such an upgrade over Quest Pro in its power. You'd be surprised how much different it's going to look. Trust me. Hey, my man, this is Gabe. This is the first VR that I will get into. Do you think it's good a good start for newcomers? Pre-ordered it. Yes, 100%. Quest 2 is a great start as well, but if you can afford the Quest 3 and you're going to jump in and pre-order it, and you can jump in and pre-order it, Quest 3 is going to blow your socks off in comparison to Quest 2 if you've ever used it. It's really, really good. By the way, if you want to support the channel, there is a link in the description of this video to pre-order it. It doesn't cost you anything extra. It just gives me some affiliate money to help support the channel. So if you want to do that, great. I'm not going to force you to do that. It is directly through the Meta Store. So if you want to buy it through Best Buy or Amazon, obviously you're welcome to do that. I don't know if they have pre-orders out. But if you want to support the channel, then I would appreciate it. Otherwise, I'm just excited for people to pre-order. Do you think it'll be worth upgrading from a modded Quest 1? I mean, it depends. How is it modded? I think it's a great upgrade. I mean, it's fantastic from all Quest headsets. Do you think VR chat will be any better on the Quest 3, and in what ways? Yes, I think they'll be able to do a lot more on VR chat. In fact, I'm curious to see what they do. That was one thing that somebody mentioned to me. I think that would be very interesting to see how VR chat functions on the Quest 3 once the upgrades are set in place. It could take some time, though. When can we see some through the lens footage? I'm thinking about upgrading from the Quest 2, and I want to see if it is worth the upgrade for the visuals. Luke, I'd love to do some once I have a headset in hand and I can I can really focus on doing that. I'm not great at doing it through the lens footage. Tyrael is definitely the god of through the lens. It's hard to really say, though. Through the lens is very deceiving because it doesn't necessarily look exactly the same as you'd see. It can look better, it can look worse. So hopefully it'll be able to be portrayed properly so you actually can get a good idea. Realistically, it's hard to tell how much better it looks without putting the headset on. The visuals you can tell, but the clarity, it's really hard to tell, and it just looks fantastic. Let me see, make sure I'm not missing any more super chats. I don't think so. I I feel like VR Chat Quest Pro is a better choice for obvious reasons. Yeah, if you want like the social aspect of it with the face tracking, which I don't know if they've even implemented yet, then Quest Pro is good for that. Obviously, somebody said Virtual Desktop is going to allow face tracking or is allowing it. So yeah, for VR Chat, that's definitely better if you want that for social stuff. If you want it for the best visuals, then definitely Quest 3. But yeah, it's definitely going to be a toss-up. Nightlight, thank you so much for the donation. That is amazing. Important question. Am I doing all right? I am doing fantastic. I'm still catching up from last week's lack of sleep. Traveling from the northeastern side of the country to the West Coast was a little more taxing than I expected it to be. But I had a great time, and I get to meet a lot of awesome people. But thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate it, and I'm doing great. And hopefully you are doing good as well. Aero Films also, thank you so much for the super chat. Has the AirLink feature been upgraded at all? I believe it will be upgraded. It does use better. It's the same chip, Wi-Fi chip as the Quest Pro. So I think they're going to probably optimize it and it'll be better. As at release, I don't know that it'll be better just because it probably hasn't been updated. What's your favorite Quest 2 game? Oh man, there's so many good games. Right now I'm loving game that comes out. When does it come out? It comes out this month sometime. Dungeons of Eternity. It's fantastic. Such a good game. Let me see what else we got here. Make sure I'm not missing anyone. I'm trying not to. Is Assassin's Creed going to be on Quest 2? As far as I know, it was announced for Quest 2 and Quest 3. So I believe yes, it should be. It should 100% be coming to Quest 2. In fact, I believe the build I played might have been a Quest 2 build, even though it looked really good on Quest Pro. It's possible it was actually a Quest 2 build. I heard that rumor kind of going around. Can you play Gorilla Tag on Quest 3? Yes, you can. You can play all Quest 2 games on the Quest 3, so you won't have to worry about that. Talk more about the AR games you tried. Most people didn't touch on them in much detail. How smart the recognition. Okay, so yeah. The MR transition is a smooth transition. It's very smooth. So Dragonic Bladix, thank you for bringing that up. I played several mixed reality experiences, and they played really well. They're currently still more like tech demos than real games, aside from some things that are coming that I know about that I can't say anything about. I haven't tried those on Quest 3. The Quest 3 games I played in mixed reality were fantastic. I played... let me just pull this up so I don't forget the names of the games that I played. Well, I didn't get a chance to play the Ghostbusters one. I just didn't have the time to play that. I ended up running out of time. I did play, what is it called? Drone Rage, which is like a drone game. I think you can actually play that on Quest 2 and Pro, come to think of it. It's like a demo thing on the store. But on Quest 3, it's multiplayer and it's fantastic. It's really fun. Even though it's simple, it looks fantastic. BAM is another game I played. It's kind of like a brawler, and it is really, really cool. The best part about the Quest 3's mixed reality is the smart features that the depth sensor brings. So no more setting up Guardians anymore. You literally look around your room and it sets it up for you. It'll take all of the room, the furniture, everything, and scan it in and senses it so that you don't have to set anything up at all, so that things react with it. So if an alien comes in your room and goes behind your couch, it goes behind your couch because the depth sensor sensed it and it creates, a 3D mesh so it knows what's there and what's not. And when I played that tabletop game, BAM, that was fantastic. It just looked great. It was simple because it was a tabletop game, but it was still a lot of fun. The Drone Rage was great. What else did I play? I played a game, First Encounter. I played that one. I talked about that in my video. That was really cool. There wasn't a lot of mixed reality experiences to really try. That was pretty much all of them besides the Ghostbusters one. But I think that mixed reality has a lot of potential. So I think it'll be really cool and a fun way to play. Hold on a second. I'm just going to go up. I think I see a couple super chats. I want to just mention out. Tazu, thank you so much for the super chat. Going from Quest 1, my daughter pre-ordered the 512 for me with Elite strap, with battery, getting the RX lenses separate. Do I need to buy my games again? No, you do not. You'll be perfectly fine. Your library will be there and waiting for you on the Quest 3, and you'll be able to jump in and probably see some upgraded experiences based on the fact that a lot of games are getting updates. Lee, also, thank you so much for the super chat. Will it know that you're sitting or lying on a bed? It'll know you're sitting. I don't know about lying on a bed. Something, again, to experiment with. Lots of questions that I wish I had answers to. I just don't have answers to because I haven't had enough time with it. But yeah, things to find out for sure. Is it fragile? It doesn't feel fragile. It actually feels pretty good. I have the Pico 3 over here. Pico 3i or whatever it is, or Pro or whatever. I can't remember what it was called. And it feels really fragile. So compared to that, definitely not. Will Advanced Guardian mean the end of constantly having to redraw the boundaries, or will we still need to do this in certain situations? I think it will mean the end of constantly having to redraw. I hate that part about the Quest. Quest Pro for a long time was better, but then it just stopped being better, and I had to redraw a lot. But I'm very glad to say that according to them, with this, once you have a Guardian set up, it should save it. You shouldn't have to re-enable it all the time. It should be a lot easier. And because it's scanning it and creating that 3D mesh, it'll be smart and know where everything is, instead of just drawing a Guardian and having to recognize the room and hoping it recognizes it. Like if the lighting's different, it can have problems. Shouldn't have that issue anymore. Should be fine. Let's see what else we got. Scanned your room and sends it to the FBI. I don't think it's all localized. It actually doesn't even go anywhere. The room scans. I thought I saw something about Lego. I played a Lego game. Did I see something about Lego? Where did it go? I played a Lego game. That was mixed reality. You're right. I played a Lego game and that was really cool. I did try a demo of that. Although I had a massive headache when I tried it, so I didn't play it for very long, but it was really cool. Will App Lab games come over to the Quest 3 too? Yes. All your library should come right over to the Quest 3. You shouldn't have to worry about that. Is there a reason they don't add haptics to the headset itself? I'm guessing because of power and battery and weight. The PSVR 2 is pretty much just a viewing platform. All of the computation and all of everything's done on the actual PS5, so they don't have to worry about that weight from the processing unit and all that stuff, or the battery. So I'm guessing that has a lot to do with it. I'm a new VR user. I'm wondering whether to get a Quest 2 or a Quest 3. It all depends on whether you are... See, it's challenging because the Quest 2 is still a fantastic system. And if you can't afford to upgrade to a Quest 3, that's okay, because the Quest 2 is going to have a good long life and it still looks and plays really well. If you can afford to get a Quest 3, it's definitely the optimal experience. It's the best Quest experience you can get. It definitely looks way better. But definitely, if you can't afford it, I wouldn't stretch so you can't eat or something just so you can get it. I saw a question that I wanted to answer. Where is it, really quick? Where is it? Will it let you scan the entire first floor of a house? It will let you scan a large portion of your house. In fact, multiple floors, according to someone that I saw today. I don't know how true that is, but yes, you can scan multiple rooms. Can I give some information about which storage size to choose? It really comes down to whether you are okay with uninstalling games, because as games get bigger, you're going to have to continuously uninstall and reinstall them. So 128 will work. There's not going to be a game that's bigger than that, but you might end up coming to the point where you are not able to install games and have to delete them, which they stay in your library, so they're not going to not be able to be reinstalled, and you won't have to rebuy them, but you'll have to reinstall them more often if you have the smaller device. Asking for days what accessories I should get. Can you please tell me? Okay, so for accessories, I'm going to recommend just what I did for the Quest 2. A nice head strap, an Elite strap if you're going to be playing for long periods of time, whether it's an official one or it's a Bobo VR or whatever it is that your preferred one is, or one that looks good to you, and a facial interface. Those are the big things for me. Hand straps, too, are a big one, but they're not 100% needed, but I definitely recommend getting those. And it does have onboard audio, which it actually supports. So the audio is better too. It's got better bass, better range, and it just sounds overall better. It's louder. I think it's 20 or 40% louder. I can't remember which one it is. So yeah, I think that the audio is really good, but if you want something for audio that you can put in your ears, I love these Bluetooth things that I've got here. And there's another one from Razer coming out. I can't remember the company that makes these. I'd have to look it up. But if you search for Bluetooth earbuds for the Quest 2, they're fantastic. They plug into your USB-C port. There's no latency, and it's really good. Let me see. A couple of the super chats I don't want to miss. Swisha Sweet Trolled. I wish they would update the Oculus app on PC. Yeah, I don't know what's happening with that. Hopefully we'll hear more about what's happening with the Oculus app on PC. It's been some interesting things happening with that. Thank you so much for the super chat, by the way. Hopefully we'll see some updates. Deepak, you retracted your message. Send it in the chat. I'll try to keep an eye out for it. Thank you so much for the super chat. Hopefully I can see that. I'll keep an eye out for it. Sorry that you retracted the message. Let's see what else we got for questions here. Will they make streaming native games HD 16:9 versus the 4:3 stretch causing distortion, you think? When I'm streaming with it, actually you can make it 16:9. It doesn't stretch it. I mean, it zooms in on the image. It doesn't actually stretch it. So it is possible to do that, but I believe we're actually getting some way better tools, both better frame rate and better quality. So we'll have to see. I don't know. They're experimenting with a lot of stuff, and Quest 3 should make that a lot more possible. Do hands and other people occlude virtual objects? That is something they're working on. It doesn't currently, but they are planning on making it so that there'll be occlusion for hands, etc. I don't know about other people, but hands definitely will be getting occlusion so that it looks a lot better. With room scanning, it looked like it'll scan once and then it has your room and it just uses it from then on. But what about when you move some furniture? Do you need to rescan or something? It might have you rescan. I would guess it probably would have you rescan, because if it needs to know where the furniture is, then yeah, that'd be the safest thing too, especially if you're going to be moving around in your room. Do you know anyone that used or tried the Meta Zenni prescription inserts? Curious to know if it's worth getting, or just use my context, because I'm going to pick up Quest 3 on day one. I don't want to get trolled by UPS. Okay, so the lens inserts, I don't need them because I don't have corrective lenses, but Mike from Virtual Reality Oasis used them and really liked them. In fact, the inserts insert really well. They're fantastic how they go in. They slot in very seamlessly, so you can't even really tell they're on there. They fit really well, and according to Mike, they work really well. So if you need corrective lenses, then I think that the ones that are direct from Meta, that are the Zenni partnership, the prescription inserts, they work really well. Let's see. Will the Elite strap snap like the Quest 2? That was asked by several people, and supposedly it has been redesigned and it's stronger now. So we shouldn't see that. Now, that remains to be seen, but that's what the consensus is internally, that it's actually been redesigned. Do the new cameras improve hand tracking enough for it to be viable outside of novel? Yes, hand tracking is fantastic. Like, it works really well. The models work really well. You can interlace your fingers. There's no latency. It's really good. So if you want to try hand tracking, the Quest 3 is the ultimate way to do it. And it'll just get better with updates, I'm sure. BMF is pass-through good enough to stay in the headset for a long time? Say like playing emulators on a screen in front of you. Yes, it is. It's very good. In fact, you won't just have to play emulators. Not sure if everyone saw this or not, but Xbox Game Pass is coming to Quest finally in December. You'll actually be able to play all of the Xbox Game Pass library on a flat, giant screen in pass-through or non-pass-through if you don't want to, with an Xbox wireless controller, which is fantastic. Hundreds of games immediately available to play anywhere you go on a giant screen. It's going to be awesome. Let's see what else we got for questions. Oh, I got another super chat. Thank you so much, Dave, for the super chat. I have the Anker Soundcore earbuds. Yes, those ones, and I love them. I'm a little worried they're not going to fit due to the recess in the strap. I might just mod it. I think they'll fit, and the reason I say that they'll fit is because they have a brand new. This is it right here. This is what Dave's talking about. This little thing right here. Oops, that's the camera there. This slides into the USB-C port. I think that they will fit. The recess isn't that deep on the Quest 3, and they've actually got another set of earbuds coming out from Razer that have a similar connection. So I think that it will work. I think so. I'm going to experiment with it as soon as I get it, but I hope they do, because I love my earbuds from Anker. What do I think? What do you think of the inside-out body tracking? I think it's fantastic, Top Jimmy. I think it'll be awesome. If it functions really well, we'll have to wait and see, obviously, how it functions, but hopefully developers will be able to do a lot of stuff with it. You think that the VR content will pick up speed since the Vision Pro will attract many developers? Do you think they will release for both headsets? I think they're different use cases, but I think that some overlap will be there, especially with mixed reality stuff. I'm not 100% sure with gaming on the Vision Pro. We'll have to wait on that. I don't know. I think it is starting to pick up, though, especially from some of the things I'm hearing internally and from developers. I think you've got a lot of exciting stuff to be waiting for. How good is the actual quality of the pass-through? Is there any color fringing or shifting like in the Quest Pro? And how much better is the addition of the depth sensor? Okay, so Tad Norman, there is no comparison with Quest 2. There literally is no comparison. And there is no color shifting because they do not recolorize the footage on the Quest 3. The Quest 3 has color pass-through cameras. Quest Pro has pass-through cameras that are colorized with the sensor. There's a huge difference there. You don't see any color shifting because there isn't any color difference. It's literally just colorized footage. It's not colorized footage. It's literally just color video you're seeing. And the depth sensor changes everything because it literally adds depth to everything. So you can see a person standing there and the depth of where they are and the shelves that's on the wall. You don't have to worry about the depth. It actually works really well. It does make it, like I mentioned, it looks a little weird when you get up close to your face with your hand, but that's kind of happened with all pass-through cameras. That'll probably happen with Vision Pro too. I don't know. But yeah, pass-through is way better. Oh, thank you so much, Mescalito. Considering this is my first VR purchase because of the potential of cloud integration, any word on whether Game Pass will have full screen option? I would guess you're going to be able to make a giant screen, but I doubt you'll do full screen because it'll probably make people sick or be too full. What I mean by that is if you had full screen with no face tracking, you would not be able to see the whole screen. So you'll be able to make a massive screen, like probably an 85 or 120 inch screen in front of you, but I don't see a full screen version of that happening. But I think that it'll be plenty big enough. I think that you won't have to worry about how big the screen is. You'll be able to make it plenty big. Is the FOV any better? I did mention, 110 degrees FOV, 15% more, I think, than the Quest 2. How fast was the room scanning? Do you think that'll happen in real time in the future? It was pretty fast. It took 10 seconds, maybe 8 to 10 seconds to scan the room that I rescanned. And that was it. Maybe 15 when I did it again, but it did not take that long at all. It was very fast. Can these 8 days left go by any slower? No, they cannot. I know it's taking forever. It seems like, let me see. Let's take a few more questions here. Batman VR is a game that I want for Quest 3 if the price drops. Okay. So I wish Batman VR would come. There's rumors that it's being developed, but again, something we'll have to wait and see if it actually happens. Will third-party Quest 2 Elite straps work on the Quest 3? I ain't paying $70 for a head strap. Okay. So, there will be adapters, I'm sure, being sold because I've already seen some popping up that you can use the Quest 2 Elite strap on the Quest 3. So if you're looking for that, you probably get a 3D printed adapter. Bobo is going to start selling an adapter for their head strap, actually, so you can use their Quest 2 head strap on the Quest Pro with or Quest 3 with their Quest 3 adapter. Let me put it that way. Let me see. Oh, another super chat. Thank you so much for that super chat. Norman, greetings from the Bermuda Islands. Hi, how you doing? Thanks for stopping by. Is there support for force feedback triggers in the controllers like the PSVR 2? There is not, unfortunately. It does have better haptics than the Quest 2, more precise haptics, I should say. But there is no haptic force feedback triggers, unfortunately. I'm guessing, well, I don't know why, to be honest. It just isn't something that was a priority for them right now. Hopefully that comes in the future, but no, it does not have that, unfortunately. Do you think augments will come early 2022 or late 2020, early 2024? I think it's going to be... I think it's going to be early from what I've heard from developers. Sorry, I just saw motion at my front door. I can't tell what that is. I think it's the mail truck here. Yeah, I think that they'll come early. I was talking to some developers about it. I think they'll come early. I'm excited to check them out. Let's see. A few more questions. Have a nice day, bro. Thank you so much, Matthew. I appreciate that. You too. I want to ask about motion sickness. Q3 will be my first VR. Is motion VR sickness common? And if I experience it, what should I do to overcome it? So motion sickness is common for some people. This will help a lot because the clarity is a lot better. And I think it'll be more consistent from a frame rate performance because it's 90 frames per second minimum is what this hits instead of 72. So you should be a lot better off for that. The best thing to do with motion sickness is just to take it slow. If you start to get sick, take it off and then wait until it goes away and try again. Don't try pushing through it. That's the biggest thing. Deepak, thank you so much for the super chat. What between Quest 2, 3, and Apple Vision Pro do you think will be the best for immersive movie watching? Consider picture clarity, multiple screens. Should I wait for Vision Pro? The Vision Pro, obviously, to me, is going to be better for that because of the displays and the clarity and the pass-through cameras. I think it'll probably be better for immersive movie watching. Now you're talking about immersive, so not necessarily for pass-through. I think it'll be better in the sense that it'll probably be a higher resolution, but obviously it costs a lot more. If you can afford it and you were going to buy it just for that anyways, then maybe wait to see how Vision Pro reception is. I personally would love a Vision Pro, but I'm happy with what I've seen from the Quest 3. Where'd it go? Another super chat. Here we go. I had the Pico 4. Do you think it's worth upgrading to Quest 3? I'm considering Quest 3 for Immersed and Beat Saber. I mentioned earlier that I don't have enough experience with the Pico 4 to really answer that specifically, except the small amount that I've tried it, just jumping from that into trying the Quest 3. To me, it was better. I like the feel of it better, and I like the screens and the lenses better. To me, they just look better. But again, that might be best. There's a couple of channels out there that are specific to Quest Pro, to Pico 4, and I think that they'll be able to answer that a lot better. But thank you so much for the super chat. Let me see what we got. Do Quest 2 face mesh interfaces work with Quest 3? I have one with a haptic head bit on it, and if I can't use it, I'll be mad. Okay, so I imagine you're talking about the Behaptics one. It'll probably work for some facial interfaces. I didn't get enough time to experiment with the current facial interfaces, but a lot of them that are third-party ones end up having the Velcro bit. So hopefully we'll be able to kind of retrofit those. I would be very sad if not too, because I have a lot of good facial interface colors, and I do have that haptics one, and I would be upset if I couldn't use it as well. Hopefully there's a way to retrofit it. We got to go take just a few more questions here. I got to leave at 3:00, so get some more stuff done. But it's been awesome chatting with you all. Let's see. If Quest 3 is coming out, does Quest 3 price go lower? Probably not right away because they've already lowered the price. Do you think black, darker environments are more visible than Quest 2? Yes. Not as good as Quest Pro, but it is better than Quest 2. All everyone talks about is better graphics. There's nothing compared to what needs to be done. Will they ever have more good games, especially extended battery? If not, then I'll never buy it. Okay, so the battery is what it is. Unfortunately, that's just what you get out of battery. You can get a battery strap for that. There is good games coming. Assassin's Creed is one of them, and it's going to be a long, I think they said 10 to 12 hours, I think is what the game is supposed to be for the first playthrough without getting everything. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, there is bigger games coming. Unfortunately, the battery, I'm not really sure. Besides having a battery strap, there really isn't anything else you can do about that right now. Can you talk more about the augments? What exactly are they and what are they useful for? So augments are the things that you can place in your physical world, because when you put the headset on, that's where you start, not in a virtual environment. Augments are things you can place on the wall, on the floor, the decorations you can get from your favorite games, trophies you get from Beat Saber, all those different things you can decorate your actual physical room with, including putting them on tables and stands and all that stuff, because it senses all that stuff. They're not just visual, though. They can actually do things like our iHeartRadio has an augment coming out, so you can listen to radio stations. It's an interactive radio that actually moves. There's things like the Population 1 portal, essentially. It puts a Population 1 pod in your room, and when you go to the pod, it actually starts the game. Same thing with Asgard's Wrath 2. Things like that are the things you're going to get for augments. Pictures that are interactive on your wall, trophies from games, robots from a game, stuff like that. Things that you can just place in your environment that make it so that you can kind of customize your home environment in your actual home. Arcanine said, can you remove the facial padding for better MR experiences like on the Quest Pro? You can remove it. I think that you're going to have it, though, because the way that how big it is, like how the depth that it works. But I'll try that when I get it in, Arcanine, and I'll see what happens with it. How exactly is true? What is exactly is true haptics, and how is it different? It's just more precise. It's not like you're going to get haptics in the triggers, but the motors are stronger, so it allows for more precise haptics, and there's more of them. So you can get more precise haptics when you touch things. Same haptics as in the Quest Pro controller, so it's not really that much different. It's actually no different than the Quest Pro. Should you buy the Quest Link cable or AirLink better, or should I buy a third-party cable for cheaper? I personally use AirLink all the time, and I find it perfectly fine if you get a fast enough router. You could buy a third-party cable if you want. If you get the right one, it's flexible. Hard to beat the flexibility of the official cable, but I would try AirLink first, and if that's not the latency, you notice it, and it's not good enough quality, then you can look into third-party cables. That's what I would do. Wondering about comfort. I have a Quest 1, and I find it heavy and uncomfortable after a while. It's way more comfortable than that. Way more comfortable than the Quest 1. Definitely an upgrade in that regard because it sits so much closer to your face. What kind of games would you like developers to make for Quest 3 that they don't seem to be making? A racing game would be amazing. Anything with a story that's long, like a long open world type stories. Kind of like with what Asgard's Wrath is going to be, but lots of those. That would be amazing. Is the Quest 3 worth the price? From what I've seen and everything that I've experienced, I think it's actually worth the price, which I wasn't sure about, but I think it will be. Will the haptics be very nice in the Quest 3? They're going to be the same as the Quest Pro. So they'll be good. They're not going to be PSVR 2 level, but I think they'll be good. Can you bring friends into your home finally? And if so, how would that work with a pass-through home, or will your augments work in a virtual home environment? I don't know if augments work in a virtual home environment. It's not something that anybody's mentioned. I would hope you could place them there. And you can bring friends into your home. I don't think they're going to see your home, though. They're going to see a virtual environment, not your pass-through home. I don't think it's going to scan and actually scan it into the game, at least not right away. It could maybe happen someday, but not right away. Will it only be passed through for the Quest home, or will there be a switchable option so you can have a normal home environment like on Quest 2? Sorry if you didn't. Okay, so yeah, you can. There is a switch. You can switch it. You can switch it so you have a virtual environment. Is Asgard's Wrath worth playing as a non-Marvel fan? Yeah, it's nothing. It's nothing like the Marvel version of all that stuff. It's actually a really good game. All right, everyone. I got to get ready to pop off and get some work done. for my video for tomorrow. But I thank you so much for stopping by. I know there's lots of questions. Once the video goes to replay, put them in the comments, and I'll try to go through and answer as many as I can. You guys are all amazing. I love you all. Thank you so much for stopping by. It's been fantastic. Thanks for all the super chats. I'll try to do this more often. I want to do one once a week where we can either play games together or do a chat so we can build the community back up, because I feel like this community is amazing and I don't take enough time to appreciate all of you, and I apologize. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for the super chats again. You all are amazing, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat. Bye-bye, everybody.